I wasn't aware that Peter and the Wolf combined both live action and animation. I hadn't actually heard of this film. I'm watching everything Kirstie Alley has done. Not too many films left, and this is one of them. And this was released in 1995, and I had just assumed it was a straight up animation. So when I started watching it, and Kirstie Alley appeared on screen, which I was very delighted about, I thought, oh, this is different, this is interesting. And initially, of course, I wasn't sure if the live action elements would fit in well, if it should have just been a straight up animation, but I can confirm that it was a really great decision to combine live action and animation in the same narrative, because it gave it another dimension, and it definitely touches upon the relationship between grandfather and grandson, and it's absolutely beautiful. So the setup is Kirstie Alley playing a mother, Annie, and she's gone to visit her father, played by Lloyd Bridges, who is of course the grandfather of Peter, played by Ross Malinger or Malinger, and they decide to sit down and tell Peter the story of Peter and the Wolf. And whenever they're telling this story, we see the animation on screen, and occasionally it will cut back to the live action. And I will say it cuts back at a really reasonable pace. The editing is very good. It doesn't cut back too frequently that it pulls us out of the narrative, but it's frequently enough that we don't forget the live action elements are there. And Kirstie Alley is narrating this tale. And the tale of Peter and the Wolf, if you're unaware, is all about how Peter befriends various animals out on the meadow. There's a duck, which I love, a bird, and a cat. And the meadow is actually a very dangerous place because there is, of course, a wolf. And the animation quality, I mean, the quality is fine, the style is consistent, the colours are really good. It's not my favourite style of animation, but that's a personal preference rather than anything wrong with the animation quality itself. But I will say the wolf looks amazing. The decision to give him blood red eyes was a really fantastic choice. He definitely looks terrifying, and they have to kind of outsmart this wolf and save themselves from being captured. And I won't say exactly what happens in case you're unaware of the story, but I thought it was very beautifully told, and if it was just the animation, it would have been an interesting tale. But because we have these live action elements, it just gave it a little bit something extra, and I found it to be really moving. It's very beautifully done. It's directed by George Daugherty and Flynn, and we have music from Prokofiev, which I've probably mispronounced, and the music is lovely. It definitely helps to carry the narrative, it helps to keep the flow of the pacing, and I really enjoyed it from start to finish. I thought it was a really beautiful, kind of emotional story at times. The animation aspect was really good, and I have to say it's just so much better with the live action elements. Being a fan of Kirstie Alley, obviously I love her in this. Not that it's ever going to be my favourite Kirstie Alley role, but I certainly enjoyed it. The film is under an hour, and if it sounds like your kind of thing, which I hope it does, I feel like it would appeal to pretty much everybody, Peter and the Wolf is definitely worth watching.